Hi, welcome to Ask Ellen. Real questions, real talk, real change. My name's Ellen. I'm a personal coach and I like to help women get through the bumps and the hiccups that come up in their lives so that they can move on and have a happier life. Today and in the month of May, my videos will be taking popular sayings and trying to understand them maybe in a different way, incorporating them into our own lives, bringing that knowledge that's been around forever and bringing it down to reality. How can it affect us? How can it make us change? How can it make us think differently about what's going on in our own lives? Today's topic is April showers bring May flowers. It's always been a popular saying for me as I was growing up. I always loved the springtime. I always loved how everything was coming alive again. And I always wanted the next flower to start blooming. Granted, we usually get the crocus that come out first, and they come out well before May. But there are ones that I always look forward to in May. But is it always just about the flowers? Is that really what the whole expression is about? Let's look into it just a little deeper and see how we can bring April showers, bring May flowers into a different reality into our lives. Let's get into it. When we look at the saying, April showers bring May flowers, what do you think of? And how does the showers part feel? It's kind of weird, right? We think of the showers as a bad thing. It's here it is, gloomy, doomy. But hey, wait a moment, and we're gonna get flowers. I don't know why, but it's the feeling that you get because we put such a negative thought on the actual showers part. But maybe if we change our view, maybe if we start thinking of the showers as something different, instead of thinking of it as a bad thing, maybe we need to think of it and rethink in a good way. Today's April 30th and it's actually raining outside, and I think it's so funny that I'm doing this video on a day, the last day of April, and it is showering outside. I love the showers part, but in life, sometimes the showers part can be really difficult. It's the setback, it's the disappointment, it's the waiting, it's the confusion. But sometimes in that setback or in the showers day, it gets you to slow down. It gets you to think differently. It gets you to look at it from a different viewpoint. Although yes, during the showers part, you might be sitting inside and you might have to wait. But what if you, while you're waiting, while it's taking the time, think about what's coming. Get excited for that next part. Maybe we need to realize what we're preparing for and get ready for that preparation. Get ready to enjoy the thing that's coming so that even though that there may be a setback, it's not going to last forever. And just like the showers, they're not going to last forever either. Eventually the sun will come out again, and then we'll get those flowers. One thing I like to think about with this saying is that the flowers do not come the day it rains. Okay, again, we're looking forward. We're looking to the next thing. But we can appreciate the rain for what it's doing. We can appreciate that the rain is feeding the ground, feeding the seeds, feeding the intention of the flower. So maybe your setback is a time for you to realize that you are processing things a little differently. You are thinking of things in a different way. You are watering the intentions of what you want to come. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I mentioned that I was sick for most of March. In fact, I pretty much was sick the whole entire month of March and half of April as well. I was sick the first 2 weeks in April. It took a lot out of me, but it gave me time that maybe I wasn't willing to give myself. It gave me the time to stop. It gave me the time to sleep. It gave me the time to have a different outlook. What is it I'm really trying to do? What are the things that I need to focus on? What are the things that I want to have happen when the sun comes out? When I stop being sick? When I stop feeling too tired? And these are the things that during that rainy season or your setbacks, you need to look at it a little differently. What is it that your body is trying to tell you? I think my body, yes, okay, I was sick, but on some level it was saying, you're trying too hard. Take a step back, relax, sleep, be quiet, calm down. And you know, whether I wanted to do it or not, I did it. I had to. If I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have gotten better. So sometimes we need to look at those setbacks and think, what is it trying to teach us? If you're in a relationship that's not working and you're in a fight all the time, maybe you sit back and you think, what is this setback? The fights, the arguments, what is it trying to teach me? And what am I trying to grow? Do you want to have a healthy relationship, or do you want to continue doing the same thing and not changing anything? Those setbacks, the rainy season, the time that it's a little quieter, are the times to reflect. It's the times to look at things and see the road you're on and see where you're going. And are those really the flowers that you planted? Sometimes through the setbacks or the rainy seasons, we find out that we're going on a different path, or that we may have strayed a little from the path that we intended to be on. What is it that's going on in your life? What does your rainy season look like? Now, sometimes these rainy seasons can be a little longer than we want them to be. And I think that's because you're not listening to yourself. You're not asking yourself, why is this happening? But I guarantee if you stop and think about it and ask yourself, what's going on? You'll see that you've been trying to tell yourself all along. And once you start listening, you'll see that things will start changing. You'll see that growth that you're waiting for. You'll see those flowers that are ready to bloom. Let's take a moment to just look at what we might consider a rainy season, or something that's happening that's not really what you want. When you're in a relationship and you're arguing a lot and you're getting that heartbreak, or maybe you've broken up with somebody or they've broken up with you. You have that heartbreak and that doesn't feel good. And it sets you back a little bit and makes you feel like you can't move forward. But that heartbreak can deepen you. It can get you to think deeper in your soul, look into your heart, and find out exactly what it is that you're looking for. Maybe you can look at that time and think, this is not what I'm going to have moving forward. I'm not going to allow that kind of pain again. I will not be treated that way again. That rainy season of heartbreak can give you so much insight for your future, so much insight for the next relationship that you have, so that ends up being better. Maybe you'll have some setbacks in something that you're learning. You did it wrong. You didn't succeed the way you thought. It can be frustrating, I know. But what are those setbacks teaching you? Those setbacks are always going to teach you something. You rushed this, or you didn't pay attention to that. These are moments that once you realize what's going on, the next attempt will be so much easier. I bet the next time you try, you'll succeed. When you're going through things and there's uncertainty, we all have uncertainty, and sometimes it keeps us from moving on. But when we learn that when we come across something like that, and we can step past the uncomfortable moment, we realize that we're learning. And when we learn, we realize that the uncertainty doesn't have to hold us back. It doesn't have to be fear-based. It can just be a pause, a moment that is showing you that something's unclear. But just because it's unclear doesn't mean it's frightening or that you shouldn't move forward. It gave you time to look, make sure you're safe, make sure that this is what you want to do, but then you can move forward. It's through the difficulty in life that help us grow, that help us learn. And I honestly understand when you sit there and hear me say that, you roll your eyes and you think, come on, Ellen, this is ridiculous. But I've been there too. I've had the heartbreaks. I've had the tough things happen. I've gone through divorce. I've had people in my life that are close to me pass on. It's heartbreaking at times. But what does it teach you? Does it teach you to close off? No, because you want to have that love in your life. You want to express gratitude for the people that have been in your life. Express gratitude for the lessons that you've learned when you've tried something and it just didn't work. That next project, you did a little better. And let's talk about the rest of the saying. April showers, which we think is something negative, bring May flowers. Isn't that something great? But sometimes those flowers aren't exactly what we think they're going to be. In fact, if you think about it, a lot of times people have allergies. And why do they have allergies? It's because the flowers are blooming. So sometimes those flowers are not going to be exactly what you expect. Does that make them bad either? No. It just makes you have to think again. And here we go. What are your expectations? Are you setting your goals too high that you can't achieve them? Or are you being realistic? Do you look in your garden and expect everything to bloom to its fullest potential? Or are you knowledgeable enough to know that some branches won't have the flowers that you're wanting to have? Maybe what you're expecting is the perfect relationship. But if you're not getting it, maybe you learned along the way how to get a better relationship. That perfect may not be attainable, but if you communicate well and you listen to your partner's communication, that relationship can grow deeper. That relationship can be stronger. It may not be the gifts and flowers and all that you think is a perfect relationship, but somehow what you developed, what you grew, is a perfect relationship for you. And that's all that matters. Maybe through the struggles that you had, you've created boundaries for yourself. Maybe you thought by putting up a wall or putting up a stop sign in your life would be a bad thing. But now you realize by doing that, you're protecting yourself. That's something huge. But maybe you didn't see that stop sign before. Maybe you didn't think that you could do that. But because you had the setback, you realized you needed to. All the growth that we have in our lives come with challenges and then some kind of result. If you're not getting the result that you expected, does it make it bad? No, it just means it's different than what you expected. Now, that's not saying that it's perfect, and it's not saying that it's what you actually want. But then you look at it again and discover what it is that you do want. You look at it from a different angle because now you've achieved the thing, a thing. Is it what you wanted? Is it what you expected? If not, maybe you need another setback or just to step back so that you can see what it is that you need to change in order to get the result that you want, to get the flower that you want to bloom, to have the flower bloom the way that you want. But here's something I'd like you to keep in mind. Maybe the flower that has bloomed in front of you is not what you wanted. But maybe that flower that bloomed in front of you is something that you need. So what do you think of when you hear they're saying, April showers bring May flowers? Today is April 30th. It is raining. But I always look at that time as the beginning, the first step. It's what you need. If you don't have the rain, you don't get the flowers. So if you don't have the quiet time, if you don't have the setbacks, if you don't have the struggles, you won't get the reward at the end. You won't get the thing that you're looking for. You won't get the thing that you're striving for. So just because you can't see the flowers yet, it doesn't mean they're not coming. They're coming. Your wants, your dreams, your desires, they're out there. They're ready. Position yourself so that you can get them by allowing the setbacks to be learning experiences, to be quiet moments that can help you build. And once you do that, once you embrace that rainy season, that quiet time, the setbacks, then you'll be able to see that all the things that you're striving for will come to you because you've already put in the work. You've gone through the struggles. You've gone through the setbacks. You've got this. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to have the setbacks because that's how you move forward. The rainy season stops eventually, and then the sun comes out and shines light on the things that you've worked so hard on. What is it that you're working on? How long was your rainy season? Tell me in the comments. Let me know what's going on with you. This month, we'll be talking different sayings just so that we can see how we can integrate those words of knowledge, words of wisdom into our lives in a different way. If this video resonated with you, please share it with a friend. Click like, click the subscribe button. I'm Ellen. This is Ask Ellen. Real questions, real talk, real change. I'll see you in the next one.